Schaefer and Donovan.
Welcome back to The Bunt, the number one podcast in skateboarding. Brought to you by the number one shoe in skateboarding, Vans. Off the wall since 1960, motherfucking 6. I'm D Jones. I got my main man, the Ghost, with me. As always, we got the legends, Richie Valdez and Antoine behind the scenes.
It's a cool thing.
Ghost. What we got popping this week, man?
Yeah, we talking massive week in Studio E. It's been a while since we've had an absolute barn burner of a Canadian legend in the building. I think he's a few years older than us, which is why we've pretty much looked up to him since as long as we can remember. One of the cleanest to ever step on a skateboard, and found out that he's had some bad back stuff, which kind of cut his prime short, you could say, I guess, because that's one dude that I always wish we got a little more from. No one was as crispy and precise as Ted Degros back in his day. I feel like he was ahead of the curve too, man. Like trick selection, everything, just such a legend. So I think Donald's been trying to get him for years. Finally got it done. Thanks for pulling up on the pod, Mr. Ted Degros. And he's a listener. Fucking legend. Then we go on to the post office. And of course, wrapping it up with a devastating rundown. Fun week in the NFL, but of course, the Jays, you know what I'm saying? But
we quickly, moved past the Jays thing and went straight back to the NFL. Luckily, that the Jays was Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning. We were like, let's get on a bus and go see an NFL game. But we'll get to that in the rundown. Make sure follow us on Instagram at The Bunt Live. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/@TheBuntLive. Hit up our Patreon, patreon.com/The Bunt. And then head over to thebuntlive.com. Every episode logged for your listening pleasure. We got videos of the Bunt Jams. Maybe you can check those out. We got more Bunt Jams in the future. And then hit up the store. T-shirts, water bottles, you name it. The Bunt Live web store on and popping. Ghost, shout out of the week. It is time. Help the people out.
You already know what time it is. It's shout out of the week, brought to you by The Den, an app for all the best skate videos. No compression, no algorithm trying to read your mind. Just pure skateboarding the way it's meant to be seen. It's free, it's endless, and it's built to extend the life of our favorite skate videos. Whether you're throwing it on the big screen, digging into the archives, or checking the newest shop video, The Den's got you covered. Download the app for free on iPhone, Android, the web, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. D Jones this week, he's got this prestigious award a couple times, I want to say already, and he's back. The young phenom from Australia, you know what time it is. Rome Collier does it again. Put out a part with the homie George Zools from down there. And it's just another classic barn burner, man. Someone turned this man pro. Like, what more does he have? How crispy does he have to be? You know what I'm saying? Crazy kickback lip. Fucking trying to remember some specifics. A Biggie backtail Biggie line. He's got a little hint of Shane O'Neill in him. You know what I'm saying? They probably both hate when that comparison's made.
You've been saying that for years.
But he's just light-footed. He's one of those guys that you watch and it looks effortless, and you wish you could do it like him. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Rome and Zools.
This is what we've come to know and expect from Rome, man. On like a 6-month basis, he's hitting us with a shout out of the week.
Yeah, beast.
Is it possible he's had the most awards? Who would have had more shout out of the weeks?
I want to say yes, because I think that's the third one, possibly the fourth.
Well, congrats to him, man. And I see many more shout outs in his future. Ghost, the last couple of weeks we've had the honor, to hold, which is probably our coolest contest yet, man. You know, we've always been a sports and skate crossover pod. Our love of sports comes through in every intro, interview, and obviously post office and rundown. Lots of people asking sports questions and whatnot. And now with our partnership with NFL Canada, we're able to send one of our listeners to an NFL game. One of the coolest things we've been able to do. And we just want to shout out the winner of the contest. I'm sure if you follow us on Instagram, y'all got to see the poll. But the winner came from where? Where's he from, Seifa?
Buffalo. No, I got nothing but love for Buffalo, just not the Bills. But Justin, major congrats to you, brother.
Yeah, big shout out to Justin. Absolutely killed it on Instagram. Shout out to you. The video was epic. The music was perfect. 2 tickets to paradise, because that's where you're going. Highmark Stadium, game of your choice. Congrats, brother. And with all that said, there's only one thing left to do. We need to get ourselves a couple of the coldest beamers in the world. You know, that's all we serve here. And you have to head down to Queen, East, and Broadview, the Comrade, one of the greatest spots the city has to offer. So head down there, get yourself a burger, get yourself a salad, kick back, relax, order yourself a couple beamers for you and your friends. That's the place to do it. Ain't nothing left to be said. Let's get this interview popping, man. All right, I say this all the time, but I really mean it this week. We got a legend in the building. Ted Degros, you know, made us work hard for this interview. Took a little while to organize, but here we are. Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Yeah, happy to be here. It's like 2 months.
Something like that, a little back and forth. But we sorted it out.
Yep.
Time doesn't matter, man. After Josh Kalis, like I don't really count anymore. That took like 4 or 5 years. So
yeah, that's some patience.
Anything shorter than that is good.
I thought this took years too.
I think I reached out, but then like in the last couple months, it started heating up.
Okay.
Something like that.
2 months ago is the first time it got through to me.
Oh, okay. I feel like we've tried through your brother or like, yeah.
Well, anyways, we made it.
Yep.
Ted, you say you've listened to the show before, so you know how it goes. You got to hit us with your favorite skate moment and your favorite sports moment.
You know, first time going to California, getting to see the guys that were like my heroes. That was, you know, a lot of big moments there. You know, Costin in person was like, it's pretty surreal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that definitely hit and was pretty satisfying for sure. Playing skate with them, you know, that was fun.
Sick.
Like early good ones, Slam City Jam was always amazing.
Oh yeah.
And we used to try to get into the course with whoever, like if you were like one of the shop people or like somebody who had a booth there, they would get like guest passes. So we would always try to get their guest passes and sneak onto the course. And
that's sick.
Yeah, when I was like maybe 12 or 13, like I got out on the course and Rodney and Day One were there skating Little Ledge.
Wow.
And those guys were just totally like my heroes. And, you know, I did like a flip back tail and, you know, little mini grommet, and they were really stoked. And that was just like, that stuck with me a lot.
That's huge.
Just kind of the stoke of doing something in front of the people you like.
For days. That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, it was a good time. So I don't watch or follow any sports. I did play when I was younger, and like you asked me to go play something, I'll go play something, but I don't really watch them. So, you know, hockey as a kid was awesome. I think like I saw Gordie Howe at an all-star game was pretty fun. Yeah, I played left defense, and I always liked like Bobby Orr was my idol. Any rushing defenseman, I was like, you know, but so I grew up in Vancouver and I had to watch them lose 2 Game 7s, right?
Awful.
So it's hard to keep. Well, you know, that breaks your heart pretty hard. Like I was playing, you know, competitively when they lost the first time, Game 7, and that was a really good era for the Canucks. Like, you know, there was Bure, Linden, Gino Ojic. Like it was really exciting players, but no Stanley Cup.
That was to the Rangers, right?
The first time, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but what was cool was being downtown Vancouver when they lost. Because, like, Canadians are nice, but
yeah,
they rioted for that one.
Yep.
They rioted when Guns N' Roses canceled their show, and they rioted after the other Game 7 loss. And like,
Yeah.
so downtown was pretty thick with pepper spray that night.
Brutal, man. Yeah.
Rough for a Canucks fan, eh? So Ted, take us back to the beginning, man. Where'd you grow up and how'd you get into skating?
Born in Vancouver, and I lived there till I was 12. Then we moved to Victoria on Vancouver Island. I started skating when I was like 9. I think my brother started a year or two before I did. And then my sister followed him. She's in between us in age, and she started like a year before me and took it pretty seriously, like, as far as kids enjoying a hobby. It was cool. She could like kickflip and varial flip, and I didn't really like the idea of my sister being better than me at anything. So I got kind of competitive and wanted to take her out. And so yeah, it'd be like age 9. And then I just kind of followed my brother around with his friends.
You had to break out the nollie cab heel on her, eh?
Yeah. Well, when people are early and they're trying to do kickflips and they do like kickflip body varials.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I could like hack on her a bit for that. But that was the most I got out of it.
So how long did she keep skating for? Because you guys obviously skated forever. Did she stick with it as well?
No, she maybe 2 years.
Mm-hmm. How competitive were you and your brother growing up? Like, obviously he had a little bit of a head start, but obviously didn't take you long to catch up, did it?
He's just shy of 3 years older than me. And there's certain stuff he's always been better at. Like he was always better at transition. He was always better at skating switch. And so he kind of had his lane and I had my lane. I just like to jump out of bumps and stuff, flippy ledge stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened to him was he was a short kid in grade 8. And by grade 9, he was one of the tall kids. And over like 3 years, he broke his arms 7 times.
Holy
so
fuck.
He'd kind of like, yeah, it was pretty gnarly.
Mm-hmm.
There a couple of real bad ones too, like ambulance ride stuff. What that meant was like, he'd get back into it. He'd start to get his confidence back. And then he'd just be out for another 2-3 months. So we'd still skate together. We had like all the mutual friends, but I was just able to continuously skate, and he didn't really get that opportunity.
Yeah, that's tough to answer for him because he sees his little brother just on this crazy trajectory, and he's got a broken wing.
I moved back to Vancouver when I was like 14, turning 15.
Mm-hmm.
I just went back for like during the summer, and I won a contest and got enough gear to like sell and stay out there at that building they called the dorm. Like when years later, when I was like 18, he was living out there with me and we were still skating and stuff. So I did get to, like have a skateboard trajectory, but it wasn't like he was totally out of the picture either. He was, in some ways, he was still kind of in the loop with everything.
Okay. That's dope then.
Yeah.
So what would you consider your first big break in the skate industry?
Well, the first little break would be that one winning the contest and getting the stuff to sell so I could like stay out there and keep living and skating in Vancouver because, Victoria didn't really have the spots, the people. It was like small companies back then that, you could ride for. And so like I got on monkey skateboards, for your American listeners, not to be confused with monkey sticks, which I think Grant rode for them.
Yeah.
If you guys remember.
Yeah, for sure. Before
not a long thing, but I think he was on there for a year or two. So yeah, getting on monkey skateboards, and the guy who owned that, Ben Shibber, he was, paying me a few $100 a month, enough to like live with other skaters back then and try to make a go of it out there. And then started getting some money from United Clothing, which Russ was on there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that just let me keep living in Vancouver and trying to make it a full-time thing.
Sick.
So
nice.
Yeah. Should I do the first big break?
Yeah, you can do. What's the big
That's
break?
the kind of little break. Yeah, getting on Alien is really what was more of an opportunity. And that, like, I heard it was like Don Pendleton saw North or something like that and started, putting the bug in people's ear. And I don't know ultimately how they like went about choosing me, but getting on there, let me get paid a little more and come out to the States, and ended up getting sharing a house out there with some of the Habitat guys and getting to go on those trips. That was way more of an opportunity, getting to skate, the American spots, or going to Barcelona.
For sure.
That's a huge one.
You mentioned it, North, instant classic Canadian skate video, one of my favorites to this day. Just Vancouver in that time just seemed like the place to be. I mean, we were kids when it came out, but you, Russ, Wade Fife, Aaron Johnson, take us back to that era and like just how fun was putting that part together and that video as a whole.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of that comes out of that building the dorm. So, having that was like a apartment building. It had 9 units in it, and 6 of them were all skateboard friends.
Crazy.
Like downtown Vancouver. Most people either didn't have to work or didn't have to work much, so we had a lot of time to just go skate. So having that many people all clustered together all the time made it just so easy to go out in session. And, there were some guys from North Vancouver, like that one, the kind of engine behind it, like Canada's Ty Evans, Jeremy Pettit. He was never militant on anyone, but he has a lot of drive, and he'd have some good ideas and motivate people and, keep people on track. So it was just really easy to go out and skate when everybody was that close together.
Yeah, no, that video, I mean, just as kids, when that came across, it was unreal, man. Especially your ender, the nollie 360 heel over the barrier. You got to take us behind the scenes on that one.
Sure.
When did that become one of your like go-to tricks,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people can do it on hips, and like I learned it on hips pretty early. I don't know, there was just one spot. It was like a little, like pop up the grate type of thing. And I just tried it on. It was like, oh, hey, this kind of works. And so I learned it, before a year or two before that video, not using hip, just straight out of a bump. Yeah, it was just kind of a perfect spot to do it. And it was down right outside of the stadium. There's a big old parking lot, and we could move around the Triton barriers, set up whatever we wanted. You never got kicked out. So it was just kind of a good spot to do it. I will say the neat thing is, something I really like about North is that it was kind of a bunch of, not nobodies, but like it was really self-generated. It wasn't like people were pumping money into it, or there were big like sponsors pushing it, or big names. It was just like, it's kind of neat that it was, just like the culture, the Canadian skate culture doing it for itself. That's what it had, this real neat feeling about it at the time. It was, that was kind of cool.
I feel like you guys all became household names within Canada after that came out too, which was cool.
Yeah, well, that was a really good time for like Canadian skateboard media, because you had like Mike Pragnell was doing Skateboard Canada, and I don't think he ever got rich off it, but it was cool. Like it really went around to all the different towns, all the different skaters. It would spotlight people that really just enriched the scene big time and gave people goals to shoot for. Like it was really, you wanted one of whatever those articles were called now. You really wanted it, but you had him doing that. You had Concrete Powder. You had SBC. Ryan McGuigan and Sean Dolinsky were doing 5'12s.
So good.
Yeah.
And it was just a good time for like Canadian do-it-yourself skateboard media.
Missed that era for sure. So you mentioned riding for Monkey Sticks when you were a little younger with one of our boys, another Canadian legend, Mr. Russ Milligan, who is just pissing me off because he always wins in fantasy football. I can't get over it. He's winning again, but okay. I digress. Take us back to skating with Russ, kind of your relationship with Russ, and you two kind of coming up together, and also doing a lot of time in San Francisco. You and Russ back in the day kind of coming up together.
So it was Monkey, and Ben Chibber would be super pissed at me if I let you call it Monkey Stick Slide. He was so adamant about that. But he had a minivan, and we would just go on a lot of trips, and they had like Kelowna had this Cash Bash event. And so most of the time back then that we would spend together was like jumping in Chibber's van and going somewhere. And he made a video. It was probably 1999, 2000, something like that. Monkey video that we worked hard on. Everybody who wanted a part in it. And I don't know. I mean, skating with Russ, we're both regular footed. So when you go to spots with somebody who's the same fucking stance as you, and thank God Russ liked to skate a lot of switch,
Yeah, that worked out.
Because I don't want to have to fight with him at all the spots for the same tricks.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really as close with him as some of the other people, like, Fife I lived with for years. Yeah, Outen, AJ being from the island, like we'd skate together at contests when we were like 13. We'd be skating against each other at little events and stuff.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I think Russ being in North Van, he was just a little more removed. So I didn't get to skate with him as much as the people who moved downtown.
Mm-hmm.
If you went to Ambleside, you'd skate with Russ, or you'd hear about all the cool shit he did.
Yeah, switchback tail and something.
Yeah, there was some cool stuff at the park out there, and it was all, he set some benchmarks out there for sure. Whatever, some Tiago stuff back then.
Yeah, for sure.
All the Vancouver people will know the post office ledge. I think he had like a switch flip back tail ad on it or something. It's just this evil high granite ledge. It's beautiful and smooth, but it's a Tiago ledge,
Yeah.
It's hard to get up there.
Yeah. Is it the one that's covered?
It's covered. And some people
and
skate the stairs or the
too?
rail.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Post office
that one's
ledge.
Crazy.
So it's a good yardstick, Like
Mm-hmm.
if you can do something on that, it's like you got it. And Russ was kind of the king of that thing.
Shit.
Switch flip back tail.
Yeah, It was a big deal at the time.
I bet, man. So you talked about how you got on Alien, but was it tough to leave Monkey to go to Alien?
Yes and no. I mean, Ben Chibber, like he knew, he was super happy for me. I don't recall any kind of attempts from him to get me or to stay or anything. Like Alien was, that was a big deal.
Oh yeah,
And,
top shelf.
Shit, I don't know. I think Chibber rode for like H Street back in the day. Like there was a lot of guys on H Street, but so he was good friends with Rick Howard and Tony Ferguson, and he tried to like get my foot in the door at Girl for years. He took me on a couple trips down there. So I guess thinking about it, no. It wasn't hard to leave because he was already trying to help me get on, a big American company.
Oh, that's
so
wicked,
he was super cool about that.
You rode for RDS for a bit back in the day, but you don't strike us as like the typical dragon. How did that come about, and how long did you last over there?
Yeah, that is a weird one because like I'm genuinely friends with a lot of those guys and I really like them, but I am a lot chiller in some ways. And like I worked at the store for like 6 months, and that's kind of how I ended up riding for him. It was right around when I got on Alien. So I was working in North Vancouver at their shop on Lonsdale. Yeah, you just see them all every day. Sluggo, Moses, whoever's coming in, because Center Distribution, I don't know where it is now, but it was nearby in North Vancouver back then. So yeah, I would just see those guys all the time, and it just it made sense at the time.
Well, what was it like fitting in with them? Did you like go on some trips with them and they were wilding out and you're just a little more chill? Like, was it easy to be on the team or no?
I got a front row seat to a lot of the stuff, and I had no inclination to stop anything. I was like, okay, you need another bottle of mustard to throw at that dude? Here you go. Like, I was happy to observe it or be there for it. But yeah, that wasn't generally, I was more driven for other stuff, for sure.
Yeah. What was the craziest thing you saw while on RDS, man? What was the wildest thing those guys were up to?
Somebody told the story, I think, on your show, and I can't remember it too well, so I'll butcher it, but it basically involves, I think Ryan Smith, he either started some shit with this dude earlier in the day or said that something happened just so we had somebody to pick on. I don't know. And one of the two. And so we're all in the van, and Moses is driving, and one of them, Moses, I think it was Moses, just squirts mustard all over this dude's car, you know, middle of Toronto, downtown. And
Jesus.
yeah, and you know, they chase us, and like, sure, it's a van full of like decent sized dudes that could probably
Mm-hmm.
fight him if they had to, but running away from people is part of the fun.
More fun, yeah.
And so, I know we drove up on the sidewalk, which was kind of gnarly to get away from him. Uh, and I don't know, just one of those ridiculous situations. You're giggling, and I was
Yeah.
happy to have a front row seat to that one.
Yeah, that's wicked. I mean, cruel, but wicked to tell the story about.
Yeah, so I didn't see anything too crazy outside of that one. It was just regular tour stuff.
Yeah. So when did you end up leaving RDS?
I don't know. I did ride for him for a while, and I think the hardest part was probably like the Habitat dudes. Some of the alien, mostly the Habitat dudes, kind of had an axe to grind with RDS's image,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so I'd get messed with a lot for it. There was this ad that came out of me and AJ messing around with you know, we had like masks on our face doing this like little bandito thing for a catalog shoot. Like we
Mhm.
were just goofing around, and then they ran it as like a full page ad in the Skateboard mag. And I was on tour in the States with them when it came out, and I never heard the end of it. And
Damn.
Tough timing.
you know, I don't like to blame things on peer pressure. I will take the accountability. I quit not too long after that one. And
Yeah, save yourself, man. So once you get on Alien, you're obviously getting to skate with the OGs now, you know, very famous team. There's a rumor that one time in an Alien demo, you were skating with Ave and Deerdick, and they were skating like a bump to barrier, but you had to step it up one level and make it a bump to two barriers to show the OGs who really has the pop around here. How did that go over with the old dogs, and what was your relationship like with the OGs on Alien?
I actually don't remember that at all. And it might be something I would do, but I wouldn't be thinking about it at the time. It would just be like, well, shit, let's do this. You know,
Mhm.
Abe's got the pop. He can do it.
Oh, I bet, man.
So I never actually went on an alien trip that I can remember.
Hmm.
Yeah, I went on a couple of Habitat trips. I went on a Seek trip. I don't think I ever went on an alien trip.
Crazy.
Like I got on when Mosaic was coming out,
Hmm.
but I don't have a single trick in Mosaic from when I was on the team. It was all filmed in between. It was after North and before I was on Alien. It was all filmed in the winter time. I was not stoked, you know, about that being what I had to put in there. I was, you know, happy and proud to be in there and stuff, but it wouldn't have been, you know, my first choice of what I would want to put in their
Mhm.
video. But skating with those dudes, I mean, you guys were at the Seek demo. I've heard you talk about it. Was it at Jimbo's place?
Yeah.
Shred Central or something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so yes, Deerdick was on a tear. I've never seen him skate like that. Something magic
insane.
happened for him that day. I don't know what, but
Mhm.
he had a magic day. I remember being kind of bummed, like I couldn't do shit. Like I've always been bad at bump to bars,
Hmm.
and that was kind of the main obstacle there was the bump to bar.
Yeah, that's what everyone skated.
Yeah, and I felt deflated, but
That was the Deerdick show, man.
Damn.
yeah, it was. It was. He was pretty stoked that day.
I feel bad, and this is no disrespect. I forgot you were even there.
There,
But I guess-
that was
I guess
kind of
you
the
weren't
day it
feeling
was,
it.
man.
Yeah,
I probably like did a 3 flip or a hard flip over the pyramid, like always,
True.
and then a couple of flat
Okay.
bank tricks, and No, that wasn't, maybe like Carolino did something good. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a
So,
tough park to demo, though. There's not really.
I feel like, was it narrow?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like the laneway. It's really good for watching because it's literally just one obstacle.
I was just BGPs that day. That was all I did.
Damn, I wonder what, yeah, it would have been. I feel like who knows what would have happened with your career, but if you had like a full part, I wonder how that would have been different in Mosaic. Cause like you said, you didn't even have time to film. Like you didn't even know you were filming for Mosaic when you got those clips and then it just came out. But if you had like a vintage full part, like North style, that probably would have been crazy.
Yeah. So like my alien footage is like half a video part. And it's, I had a 411 part and then recycled the footage in like 4 other videos. But and then I had a back injury when I was like maybe 20 or 21 or something. Never really figured out what it was, but I was out for like 6 months. I just never really got, like, I couldn't really jump down stuff after that. I didn't really progress a whole lot beyond where I was before after that. That was kind of like I would say my peak. It was my alien time.
That's so young. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but back then people didn't have careers into their 30s, 40s, anything like that. And so it didn't feel super strange at the time. Like I still skated. I was still, I feel good about the stuff I did after that. It just wasn't, I noticed a difference in my skating with like having just a little bit more power before the injury than after.
And
Shit. The way she goes.
Yep. Tim O'Connor obviously did a Mosaic commentary. And when your introducing part comes on, he says, "You're so normal, you're weird."
Yeah.
What does that even mean, man? Did you get to ask Tim, like, where was he going with that, man?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not like, I was kind of focused. Like for me, that was a dream come true, going on trips with those guys and going to those spots. That was just a total dream come true. So I wasn't wanting to party like crazy. Like I would party a lot back then in my private time, but not on the tours, because I was just so stoked to be there and to skate with those guys and film with them that I wasn't like making a big scene. I wasn't I just wasn't partying as much as everybody else.
Focused.
Yeah, exactly. Back then, it was like iPod time, and everybody had their music, and you just spend most of your time going through everybody's libraries and trying to pirate music off of everybody. That was like the major pastime on those tours.
Simpler times, man.
So I would probably spend most of my time, trying to get into like Danny Garcia's laptop or Chnosky's or something.
Yeah, you get the good stuff.
I'd spend more time doing that than partying.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's skateboarding's so funny how like partying is kind of like part of it, or maybe more so back then. Like to fully fit in, you got to put in the party tax too.
Yeah, I think it just depends. Like if you have a project you're working on together, like when we had North, it wouldn't matter what you were doing because everybody kind of had this goal. You're partying, you're not partying, it doesn't really matter because you're just kind of out on the same mission all the time trying to make, you got this goal. So I think sometimes it matters and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, those fucking hooligans from New Jersey were on a different vibe, eh?
Yeah, but at the same time, like, they just like to fuck with you.
Oh, yeah.
They don't actually care. It's their form of entertainment to, mess with anyone and everyone. And you give them a target, you're going to take a shot.
Absolutely.
But yeah, mostly they're just entertaining themselves.
The date is going so well. After months of bad dates, here's finally one where everything clicks. You excuse yourself and go to the toilet, sitting there scrolling and loving life. All of a sudden, the door bursts open. In front of you stands a woman staring right at you with haunted eyes. Before you have a chance to say anything, she starts to cascade vomit straight into your face. Your initial reaction is to scream, which just results in her vomiting directly into your mouth. This, of course, makes you vomit too, but not with the same power as the woman vomiting on you, so yours splashes all over yourself. Now you're covered in both hers and your own vomit. You try to get out of her way and crawl into a small ball next to the toilet, but she's like a loose fire hose. No matter where you go, it still hits you. Eventually she stops, and just as she does, she pulls you up by your shirt and whispers, "I'm sorry," before headbutting you square in the nose. You pass out cold on the toilet floor. When you wake up, you are the definition of a mess, covered in vomit and blood. How are you supposed to go back out to this and continue the date? Is your date still there? How long have you even been gone? As these thoughts run through your head, the main door to the toilet opens, and in comes none other than Alyssa Steamer. In a headlock, she's holding the woman who just vomited on you and knocked you out. "I saw what happened," Alyssa says. "At first, I thought it was kind of funny, sorry to say, but when she knocked you out and ran off, I decided to run after her. I have seen you here before on dates, and they have all been awful, but this one did seem like it was going great." So the vomiter made it to the street, but not much further. I threw my skate at the back of her head like a tomahawk, put her in a headlock, and dragged her back. "But enough talking," she continues. Alyssa takes off her buttery Nar Hunters and Baker's gear and hands it to you. "It's better if you wear this," she says. "I'll take this asshole's clothes, since there's some vomit on them. I'm going to a Baker party anyways. Vomit was basically part of the perfume back in the day." You clean up, gear up, and just about to leave. But before you do, you ask the vomit girl why she knocked you out as well. "I figured if I didn't, you would after I vomited on you." "Smart," you and Alyssa say at the same time as you walk out, leaving in your other clothes. But not smart enough when Alyssa's around. You get back to your table, your date looks up from her phone and says, "I thought you were beautiful when you went into the toilet, and here you are, looking better than ever. So glad I waited. Let's have some dessert." Who made sure Alyssa was right there for you to save the day? CHPO brand did. The worldwide leader in sunglasses and watches. Always doing it for the people.
So eventually Seek Seek went out of business. It was kind of short-lived, but did have a pretty sick team. But they ended up bringing a lot of those guys back onto Alien. Unfortunately, you didn't come back on. What was kind of going on behind the scenes at that time for you?
I wasn't privy to any of that, so I don't know. But I was on Alien, but I went on a couple of Seek trips. So I ended up being kind of closer with the Habitat and Seek guys. And so, yeah, when they came back over, that was a bunch of dudes. That was like Mikey Taylor, Josh Kalis, Deerdick, Colin. I don't know if Flo and Alex got all the way cut at the same time. Maybe they did.
Yeah, they went to Santa Cruz, I think.
They did go there, but I don't know if they went there right away. But they would make sense if they did. I just can't recall. So yeah, I wasn't really privileged to any of those decisions or conversations. But that is what happened. You guys nailed it. That company, yeah, they shuttered up, and then the team would have just been huge, because I don't remember if Omar had just got on or was about to get on Alien, but yeah, it was too big, and I was not as awesome as those dudes. So that's the way she goes.
Depends who you ask, man.
Well, I mean, I'm awesome in Canada.
Yeah, that's what I'm
But
saying.
being an awesome in Canada doesn't pay the bills.
You were awesome everywhere, but you just didn't have a chance to put out that next part for them, which I feel like could have made things different.
That definitely would have been pretty neat to be in, one of their full length ones with the part that you filmed there would have been nice. But that's the way she goes.
What was going on with you and Lakai? Did that start off as like a thing in Canada through Supra and then kind of transferred to Cali, or what was happening there?
I don't think so. No, I don't remember this too clearly, but I think I got hooked up direct flow from the beginning, just through Chibber because he was good friends with Rick Howard. Yeah, I was just direct flow my whole career, start to finish.
Shit. But you got to skate with them? Did you spend time with them down there?
I never did anything related to the American Lakai team that I can think of. I think it's good for anybody to be on companies where you have more immediate opportunities, like where you can go on trips and skate with people. And so, like, I was never getting that from Lakai. They did pay me and they gave me photo incentive and like they did provide opportunities that way. But versus being on a team where you can actually get in the van with guys and go to spots or film a video, like I think that's a lot more just helpful for all kinds of things.
There's a post on Slap that pretty much outlines like why you decided to step away from skateboarding. But might as well hear it straight from you. What was happening towards the end, and what made you ultimately walk away from like sponsorship?
Yeah, that post was me, and that was legit, and that is the only post I've ever done on there. Yeah, that is me.
Verified.
It was a bummer getting the call from Santa Cruz. So like when I was off Alien, I lived in a kind of habitat house in San Francisco. It was like I had a place, Silas Baxter Neal and Brennan, the filmer, had a room there. Alex and Flo would stay there when they were on both teams, whether it was Santa Cruz or Seek. And then the Santa Cruz team manager, Jake Jones, lived there as well. So we would have revolving people from both teams coming through there. That's how I ended up on Santa Cruz was, I was living with Jake when I got whatever the call from Tony Heights over at Alien. And those were the dudes that I had the best time skating with. So I was like, okay, let's try this out. And that was cool. I don't know what the time frame was there, 2 or 3 years. But that was awesome. Like we had got a couple of different team houses together, went on a lot of trips together, filmed a lot together. Like that was a really good experience. I'm going to jump around here because it plays into your question. Why I decided to quit was I was coming back from a Japan trip that had gone well. I was like shooting for a Thrasher interview. I was, feeling good. And I got a call at the airport from, they'd fired Jake and put Alex Mole in as the team manager. And he had to call and fire me, which he was not too stoked about. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
It sucked for him.
Yeah.
And I wasn't too stoked to get the call either, but it was like Alex, and I'd been on tour with him. It was a weird feeling to be getting that call when stuff felt like it was going good.
Mm-hmm.
But that was right at the 2008 financial crisis. And so like everybody's checks were getting cut in half back then. Cut in half, 6 months later, cut in half again. After that, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do because Santa Cruz was never an inspirational company to me. It's not my background. It's not my generation. Plan B, Girl and World Industries, the world related companies. Those were like my big inspirations. And Santa Cruz I rode for because my friends were there.
Mm-hmm.
And so to get cut from that, it didn't feel good,
Yeah.
It was like to get cut from something that's not really your first pick anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And so I reached out to Dan Zasplasky to see if I could ride for City because I'd been on a China trip with Dan and Jeremy Reeves and some guys, and I'd enjoyed it. I'd liked kind of those guys' motivation, and the guys on the team at the time were people that, I was like, okay, this is cool. I got back a no, I think. I mean, I didn't press him. I don't really know who he asked or how hard or anything, but getting cut from a company that I wasn't too stoked on to begin with, and then hearing no from something that also wasn't my first pick. I was just like, you know, it wasn't too motivating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at that with, you know, the financial climate at the time, I just wanted to be successful at something and kind of take the drive and the motivation that I had in skating and be successful somewhere. Because it's like skating doesn't go anywhere. I can always skate. It felt like money was leaving the industry. And, you know, I just wanted to have a livelihood somewhere and skate when I want to. Yeah, that's why I just kind of clean cut it.
Nice.
I don't remember the rest of the sponsors. I don't know how long I milked my backpack sponsor for Jax. I don't know how long I kept that up.
Those are the ones you don't even call. You just wait till they figure it out.
Damn straight.
Yeah. 2 years later, they're like, "So Ted, are you still skating?" Like, yeah, sometimes, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim Fenton at Momentum and Jody Morris. I think you guys kept it coming for
As long as they could. Yeah.
Yeah.
Epic.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But yeah, no, that was a tough time for everybody. You know, in the skate industry, all the pros. Everybody took a big hit back then.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So what'd you switch up to do?
So I was living in Santa Cruz, which I love the place. I love living there. It was really awesome. And I'd met, you know, a girl who I'd been living with while I was on Santa Cruz. And I just wanted to, you know, stay there and keep dating the girl. My dad's a landscape architect. He's done, you know, construction installation forever. So I just started getting jobs doing that, been calling up my dad and saying, "Dad, how do you do this? I sold a job. How do I do this?" So I just did that for like a year. And then I was a fishmonger at a farmer's market for 6 months.
Okay.
I was just kind of doing whatever work I had to for a year or two. Yeah. So if you want to know how to make a nice miso sauce for, you know, Chilean sea bass, I got you. But yeah, I did what I had to do for a year or two until I, you know, landed on something. And then I just took a job working on trees one year, and the feeling and the vibe of doing that was pretty cool. It ticked a lot of the boxes that skating hits for me. So I was like, oh, okay, I can do this.
That's wicked. Is that what you're doing now still?
Yeah.
When you say working on trees, what do you mean?
So I'm an arborist, and before I did it, I thought that an arborist built arbors. Turns out arborists don't build arbors. That means they work on trees. Just anything to do with trees, pruning them, cutting them down, planting them, whatever. It's just I work for a city in Berkeley. I'm just on their municipal crew, taking care of tree things.
That's awesome, cool, man.
Yeah, it's a good gig.
So we love talking illegal tricks over here. Obviously, you know, we do this with pretty much every guest we can. We came across an interesting one from you, 5-0 varial flip or 5-0, maybe a forward flip. Who knows what that was? But we heard that Fred Gall gave you a pretty rough time about that one in Barcelona too. Is there any truth to that? And what was behind the 5-0 forward flip?
He probably, I just brushed that stuff off, man. I don't remember it. No, I learned those when I was like, I don't know, 14, 15, and it was always a 5-0 varial flip. And typically they're more varial flip, but every once in a while they do that. I'm not an adopter of the term dolphin flip or forward flip. Okay. So to me, it's a varial flip that just looks funny.
That was a cool one at the premiere.
Yeah, it's contentious. People definitely take a stance on it, and it's interesting to hear people like to argue about it.
Yeah, there was definitely some oohs and ahs at the premiere. Well, I heard you mention Tiago earlier, and I was just curious how much you keep up with skating these days, and if you're still skating here and there.
Yeah, so I like watching Ben Lowry.
That's epic.
Let's give him his due here. Ben Lowry. I really like watching Cyrus Bennett. Is that his name?
Yeah. Oh yeah. One of the best kickflips in the game.
Yeah, he does a lot of unexpected things, but not illegal things. Just
Very
unexpected
true.
things. Gustav Tonesen, I like watching. That's all that comes to mind right now. But yeah, I definitely keep up on most stuff.
Nice.
Oh, that's wicked, man.
But skating, so I'm like, dude, 90% of the time I'm dad duty. That's what I'm spending most of my time doing. So I wasn't skating much for a long time. And then my son kind of got the bug.
Sick.
And so I haven't pushed him one bit. I'm there, I support, I facilitate, but I don't not pushing anything. So pretty much whenever I skate, it's with my kids. Now that they're a little older, I do get to try some stuff. So like I'll go and try to pop a trick, and it's just like, no, it's not.
It's not popping.
Yeah, like it doesn't match my memory of, oh, if I put this much effort in, this is what happens. Like that doesn't happen anymore. So I've had to relearn how to skate with much less pop.
Oh,
Yeah,
devastating.
What it is.
What's the bag of tricks looking like these days?
What about the back heels? That was a go-to. You had a great back heel.
They're not like they were.
But they're there.
Damn.
So a lot of things still work. Like I hadn't tried to switch hard flip in 10 years, and it's first try. Like some stuff is still there.
Let's go.
But
man, it must suck losing pop. Like for me, it's not so bad. I never had much pop to begin with, so like I've lost a little bit, but it's hardly noticeable, at least for me. But for you were like a super poppy guy, so it's probably a significant decrease. That must suck.
it's very confusing. It's really confusing. You just look at something and you're just like, no, I'm just going to flip over that. Like I'm going to frontside flip that. I don't need to try. It's just going to work. Yeah. And it doesn't. You need to adjust. Okay, I got to flip faster and I got to catch sooner and not go over that thing. Let's go over this smaller thing over here. It's fun. I do like readjusting. It is like getting to learn again for the first time. And as my kids have gotten bigger and I'm able to get my flippy time, yeah, it's been fun.
What do you remember from the infamous Barcelona apartment with Danny Renaud?
Yeah, no, because I've heard that story told a couple of different times, a couple of different ways.
Yeah, oh yeah. Everyone has a version.
One, Danny's the one who took the heat. But Danny was not the only culprit. Danny was just the low man on the totem pole. So he's the one who got axed.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what the other dude said. What I can add is that it was very much Danny, Fred, Carrie. I don't remember how much Tim and Brian Wenning were into it, but it was at least 4 or 5 of them. And they were all just as fucking wild when they got back to the apartment. Like the story was they just went out partying. I would love to tell you what they were up to, but it's not my place to tell you what they were up to.
Yeah, that's fine.
People can listen to Fred's episode if they want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When they got back, they were just partying. They were wild. It was a rented apartment, subletted. And then, at one point, Danny goes around the room focusing everybody's boards, and he stops at the AMs, and he looks at us and he goes, "You guys are cool." And he doesn't focus our boards, which was really appreciated at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We had to go get a hostel after that. I remember that part. So I wasn't mad. It was really neat the way, like there was the older dudes, who knows what they did. Maybe they went and got a real hotel. Maybe they got a flight home. This was like right after people were making huge checks in skating. Like I think that their checks, I don't know, it was something great. It was like $10,000 a month for these guys once upon a time. And then by that point it was like $5,000 a month per sponsor. So they were doing good.
Mm-hmm.
And we went and had a really good time, like just staying in a hostel and skating out there for a couple of weeks. So it turned into a awesome, different than intended trip.
Nice.
One of the most like infamous stories in skate history, that Barcelona apartment, man.
Danny took the heat. The other dudes were just as guilty, man. But low man on the totem pole.
Yeah.
So what's a day in the life like for Ted Degros in 2025, man?
Probably not interesting enough to tell on a podcast.
Very domestic.
For all your fans, man.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's a good point.
Starting with us, man. We're the fans.
Because I love knowing what other people are up to, like the dudes that I followed. Like I run like all the field operations for City of Berkeley. Just everything with running an urban forestry unit in a city.
That's cool.
Pick up my kids and be a dad. Someday they'll be bigger and I'll do other stuff, but for now, that's what I do.
Sounds
cool,
perfect, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked.
What's next for Ted? Now that you're back on the board, the flip tricks are coming back. Can we see some video soon, man?
You teach my kid how to hold a camera, then okay.
Yeah, I'm working on teaching mine the same thing.
No, I just live a pretty normal life. Just got a good thing going on, trying not to blow it. That's really all that's next. Will I be more involved in skating in some way? I don't know. Not against it.
That's great.
Feel the heat from here.
Yo, it's Rapid Fire with the Ghost, and this week we're honored to be brought to you by the only trucks we ride. That's right, it's Thunder, baby. And you've probably heard about the new T2s by now. If you haven't tried them yet, you're blowing it. They're redesigned from the base plate up. Taller, 54 millimeter axle height for less wheel bite, remastered, more responsive geometry, and new single taper bushings that feel broken in right out the box. Our boys Dustin Henry and Xander Mitchell have been on them, and they're stacking clips, you dig? Get yourself a set from The Block, Skateworks, Escapist, Shreds, Sticks, SGV, or local skate shops worldwide that know what's really good. And tell them the Bunt sent you. And hey, Jim, I guess I'm blowing it because I haven't tried them yet. So send me a box. You dig? All right, Ted. You know what time it is. A little rapid fire. Are you prepared? That's the question we're about to find out.
No, but yeah.
Favorite skater?
I wanted Gino's style, day one skill, and Pat Duffy's attitude. Those were my biggest inspirations.
Nice. Favorite video?
Virtual reality.
What about favorite video part?
Dude, I'm going to give you a super random one. Day one skated to Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence in a Deca promo.
Damn.
I like that part.
Okay, sick. I don't think I know that one. Favorite style?
The skaters I listed earlier, Cyrus Bennett, Ben Lowry, Gustav Tonesson. It's kind of like it depends what people are skating. Like you can really like somebody for how they approach different things. Like Charlie Wilkins, like watching him is just fucking rad because of the way he skates vert. Does he have my favorite style of anybody? No, but he's got my favorite way of skating that. The way Elijah Burrell might skate a rail, I'm like, okay, that looks cool. That's pretty inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
So all time, we'll still give it to Gino.
Sick. Which skater had the biggest influence on the way you skate?
I mean, Rodney Mullen in virtual reality, I watched that part, so many times. So probably the most influence.
Nice. Most talented skateboarder on planet Earth?
I'm gonna say Guy Mariano. I don't think it is, but he comes into my brain, so I'm gonna say that.
That's fair. Favorite trick?
360 flips are a fun trick. Go to inward heel flips are really satisfying when they curve around properly.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, if you catch one of those, it's a pretty cool feeling.
You had a great one for sure. Hardest trick for you?
Regular frontside heel flips.
Oh, fuck. It's impossible.
Most illegal trick?
Willy grinds?
Oh.
Yeah. Still valid to this day. Definitely still a whack trick.
Anything where you don't have to lift the back end up, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
a barley grind?
Barley
because you
guy.
don't have to actually get the pop up there.
Yeah.
If somebody does like a backside, what's a backside? A Bennett.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
That's like technically front side, but yeah.
either way can look good, and I'll give them their props and respect. But if you don't have to get over the ledge before you get on there,
Yeah.
I'm like, eh.
Yeah. Fakey Smiths, Nollie Smiths, all that stuff. It's just too lazy.
Yeah.
Favorite clip you've ever gotten?
Probably the inward heel on Georgia Banks.
Oh.
It's the red banks in Vancouver. There's a big crack at the bottom, and it's a little awkward.
Yeah, that was
So
butter.
that one,
What's the worst trend you've been a part of?
I don't know, man. I don't know if I've been part of any trends.
I kept it pretty clean. I can't think of any.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of didn't jump on anything.
What's the gnarliest trick you've ever witnessed?
Nobody's going to know this one. There's two, and they're both in Winnipeg.
Okay.
So one is Jason Crawley skating a rail. And I don't even remember what he did down it, but I don't know. Just the impression of how brave he was on this rail kind of stuck with me. So Crawley eating shit and getting back up in Winnipeg. I think it's downtown Winnipeg. There's, I don't know, it's like a monument. You got to come off of this sculpture down into a pretty narrow drop. Josh Even was the first dude who dropped in on it on a tour. And then years later, like either Sasha Daly or DeCenzo might have kickflipped or tail drop kickflipped into her or something.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was just like, it was pretty brave.
What's the one trick that got away?
I never did a kickflip front tail kickflip out.
Damn.
And I always wanted to. And there was a dude, Matt Brody or something like that. I think he was a San Jose skater. Similar age, like a contemporary, and he could do it. And I was like, fuck, I want to do that trick. It's not stylish. There's nothing crazy about it. I just always wanted to do it.
Yeah, that seems like something you would have done. And rest in peace to both the legends you mentioned. I don't want to skip forward too much without saying that. Canadian legends.
Dude, I think fucking Matt Brody also is an RIP.
Oh, damn.
It's weird, but true.
What's the biggest bunt you've ever witnessed?
Mostly, and this was a lot of East Coasters and Toronto, some of your big shirt friends. It was always the night out, the night before, the drinking, the I'm going to do this tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to say a random name. Get at me, Dave Lapchuk.
Oh.
He used to claim some stuff.
Oh, shit.
I love you, Dave, if you're out there, but...
That's epic, man.
Yeah.
Well, no, Grant was
Lapchuk.
right there with him, man. The East Coasters, they'd come out to the West Coast and they'd be like, determined and right on, good for them.
Mm-hmm.
But they'd claim it the night before, and it didn't usually go down.
That's awesome. Two East Coast legends.
Yeah, the old claim at the bar, getting more and more drunk. It's classic. So classic.
That's the most bunts I ever witnessed were at the bar. Yeah.
Lapchuk, shout out. Fucking legend.
Yeah, hell yeah.
What's the last new trick you learned?
I don't know, just kind of relearning everything. And it's a bunch of tricks. It's all the time. 32 years of skating. I have never done a pivot fakie.
That's crazy.
Is that by choice?
I'll let you
at
know
this point?
if I get that one.
Yeah, we got to see that.
I didn't grow up around transition.
But your brother was out there.
Can you blunt fakie?
I can blunt. I can't pivot fakie. Oh, you know what? No, that's fair. I just a good backside 50-50 on like a 6-foot ramp is my newest trick because transition terrifies me. And I've never even done a decent grind until recently on anything above knee height. Baby steps.
Yeah, dude, there's a whole world for you to discover and a million tricks for you to learn now. That's pretty cool. Dream job after skating?
I play a lot of music. Anything in music would be pretty fun. But at the same time, I've kind of learned, doing what you love for a living there's a few pitfalls there. So let's say music with that caveat.
Favorite local brand?
It would be Squang and 510 Skate Shop.
Favorite local skater?
My son?
That's
No any
wicked.
local skaters, dude. Oh, no. Ron Allen shreds the Berkeley Park like all the time. So I get a Ron Allen show like all the time.
Sick.
Dope.
What's the one sponsor you regret riding for?
I'm not gonna say I regret riding for any. They all helped me out. I think maybe OGO had the least kind of to do with skating, but my homie worked there, so I'm not mad.
Yeah, I forgot about them. Sick.
Yeah.
Favorite teammate ever?
I'm gonna give this one to Dustin Monty
Sick.
because
Awesome.
that dude is a good time.
Underworld. Yeah.
Yep.
Wicked. Mega shout out to the little homie, but big bro
Mhm.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Little
Baby
big
Kid
bro.
Rock.
Little big unk. Yeah.
Dude is, always brought a good time.
Yeah.
Little homie. Legend.
Worst teammate ever.
Well, Fred and Danny were the best, worst teammates ever. And I think a lot of
Fair.
people feel that way. If you're trying to get anything done, they're the worst teammates ever.
Yeah.
If you're just along for a good time, they're the best teammates ever.
Yeah.
So Fred and Danny.
And if you're in a burning like monastery or something, then Fred's the best teammate ever because he'll jump
Oh,
in
yeah.
there.
So
No fear.
okay, funny you say that because we were skating some random set of stairs in Houston at a monastery, and a Tibetan monk comes flying, like jump kicking down this set of stairs at us. And Fred saved us from the guy at the monastery.
Wow.
So,
okay, it goes both ways.
Best teammate ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's epic.
Yep.
Worst company.
I'm going to say the first one to mind, and I'm sorry to this company, but you can't name your company Jart. It is way too close to fart. You just can't do that.
Shots fired from Ted.
It came to mind. I'm just sharing.
That's fair.
Worst trend.
It was a little rough in I don't know, early 2000s, whatever, when everybody kind of jumped on the same like emo bandwagon. That was a little rough. You know, it was okay when some people did it, and then it was a lot, and I wasn't a large fan.
Yeah. And then that got countered with all the giant tees a few years later. Worst style.
Okay. So this is not one for an individual. There are many people who fit this one. I will not name any names, but you will often see somebody do a trick and they've already decided how they're going to land before they do the trick. So, you know, we called it zoo landing when I was, you know, in the 2000s there. So if you watch somebody do a trick and it's not natural, they've already got whatever sauce they're adding to it thrown on at the end. It's not my choice to watch that before I go out and skate. I won't put that on.
Fair.
That's
So
fair.
any Zoolanders,
Fake Steve.
yes.
All right, Ted. Last but not least, who's the last person you want on the sesh?
All right, I'll throw a couple out. Okay.
Okay.
One of them I can't say their name because it's a dick move, and I'm not going to. But they know who they are, and people who hear this will know who they are. You know, there was somebody who used to get so worked up about not landing something that they would cry. And that was not motivating. As one of the other people on the session, that was not motivating. And the other one, Mike McDermott, I love you. I love you.
That's cold, man. He's going to listen
And I
to
want to
this.
skate with you, and I want to have a beer with you and a coffee with you. But
That's
when you
cool.
get in a mood and you don't land a trick, you know what you do.
Yeah.
Damn.
McD,
Classic.
I love you. You're taking it.
Nick D.
He's the first person I want and the last person.
I love that.
That's awesome. All right, Ted. That's the end of the interview. Handled that too easy, man. Thank you so much for coming on the pod. We appreciate you taking the time for us, man.
Yep. Thank you, guys. I will keep listening.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah. Legend in the building. Thank you, man.
You've got mail.
Welcome back to the post office, brought to you by our good friends over at Dickies Skateboarding. Quality workwear since 1922, from the work site to the streets. Ain't nobody keep you fitted like Dickies, man. Ghost, we back at it. Post office, who we got up first, man?
Yo, we got an email from Evan B. Dumb question. Theodis Beasley might be the greatest skateboarder of all time. When are we getting the Fifi interview? Go Blue Jays from a disappointed Tigers fan. Damn. First of all, that's an extremely hot take. Theodis greatest of all time. I'm not mad at it. He is a GOAT. I mean, one of a kind, truly. One of the nicest dudes in the industry. And I have texted with him many times over the years. It just hasn't worked out. I went to his birthday. I'm pretty sure I told that story with Jake Anderson a couple of years ago. That was one of the funnest, randomest parties ever. It'll happen. It'll happen. Thanks for the reminder. Maybe I'll text him right now.
Yeah, that would be great, Theodis. I hope one day, man. He's one of those guys out there that you're like, that would be a good one. And hopefully we get it. Make it happen. All right, next up, we've got an email from Waylon Petramul. Seifa, tell us a story about the most drunk you've ever seen Dono. Or if you guys both have time to tell one story each, that would be epic.
Damn.
You need to think?
I saw this one
because I got one
the other day, unless you have a reminder for me. Oh, no, you have one about me? But my problem is...
Yeah.
The problem is, I saw this the other day and I thought about it. Like, if Donald's ever been blackout around me, I'm just as drunk. So it's really, I thought about it the other day. I was like, yo, like, I can't remember a time where I've been like sober and Donald's just been wasted and then he's made a fool
that would be
himself
weird.
Or something. But I'm sure he has some on me because I'm fucking a little bit looser. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, there's obviously some rated R ones, but we won't go there. I have the one that comes to mind, and we were both equally drunk, is obviously when we went to see the Cleveland Browns with a all-star cast crew, me, Seifa, our good friends Ben and Tommy, and James Hardy in the building. I think we started drinking at 9 a.m., maybe even 8 a.m. this day. We're at the tailgate. We go to the game. We go out for dinner. We go to the bar. We go to another bar. And at this second bar, this is the point where, things get a little wonky. He starts seeing crooked. And the ghost ordered himself 5 Ubers, missed them all, falling in and out of sleep at the bar. No one even looking at him crooked in Cleveland for this. But that was an all-time one. And then we ended up having to walk home because who knew that Uber shuts down in Cleveland, man? Makes no sense. But I think we walked like 10K home. It took forever. It was an absolutely awful experience. But and then the next day driving home, just as awful. But that day was unreal, man. One of the best days of my life with James Hardy. Never forget that.
Same here. And you guys were laughing at me for missing all those Ubers and falling asleep. And it did suck. I got charged for a bunch of them. But I did get an Uber home. I blacked out. I don't remember getting in the Uber. I don't remember getting out. I don't remember getting into the Airbnb. I just woke up in bed the next day feeling like a pile of ass crack. But yeah, that was one of the funnest trips ever. That was when Ben fell over. Yeah. And Donald, yep. Dude, we should have probably stayed in Cleveland an extra day because whoever was driving home was for sure still drunk, and Donald took the bullet. Got a speeding ticket too, unfortunately. So drunk. Me and Ben both.
But we got pulled over for speeding. Yeah, we got pulled over for speeding, and he hands me the ticket, and he's like, any questions? I'm like, just get this speeding ticket and get out of here, because we can get in a lot more trouble than just this speeding ticket, man.
Yeah. Ben Davis, William Benjamin Davis, government name, puked at the border right before we crossed the border. Just want to make sure that's on record. He's like the golden child of our crew, Mr. Perfect, but you know, everyone slips up sometimes. The only dude, I don't have a specific story. Yeah, I don't have a specific story, but just some of the drunkest nights for sure that you've been around me, but I was just as drunk, was 100% our trip to Halifax when I was 22, I think, and you were 23. We went to the East Coast, and that was just like a fucking next level
every night
bender.
Every night.
But I don't have I don't remember a specific
I was
fucked
thinking,
up.
Nah. There was when we used to go to Niagara Falls for my birthday every year, we would get wasted. I remember one time I was first one back to the hotel, and I locked the door, and people were kicking it in, but I like blacked out, just fell asleep, and there's supposed to be like 8 of us in that one room. Some furious people that day. But that's the shit that happens, man.
Yeah, another time that comes to mind, again, no specific stories, but it popped in my head the other day, was Cuba. Me, you, William Benjamin Davis, Simon Disher. That was collectively probably the drunkest the 4 of us have ever been, and that was a week straight. Felt alcohol withdrawal for the first time of our lives.
Dude, nightmares.
Not good. But you know what hit me the other day, which I think is what made that trip so epic, was I'm pretty sure that was like the year before we all got Instagram. And it was like the last time, like, I just remember we all put our phones in the whatever, those
safe
boxes in the safes in our room. Like, I don't think we really even had our phones the whole time. We were just locked in, living life. Like, we don't really have pictures from that trip. There's probably a couple, but
there's a couple. Yeah. I remember the only thing we would check was like the score of the Raptors or Leaf games, and that like the internet there wasn't even good enough for that. But yeah, you know what the common denominator in all of this is? It's Ben Davis.
What?
He's the issue, dude. He is the problem.
Yeah, let's blame Ben. That's so true. That was a fucking... Yeah, I wish I had... Well, we also said, you know, what happens in Cuba stays in Cuba, so definitely some
classified
crazy stories
documents
there. But, yeah, sorry I don't have more specifics for you, man, but trust me, Donald can get turnt with the best of them. The problem is
now
it's probably a little more turnt and don't remember after.
It's basically every Bunt Jam now. Like, the skate day of Bunt Jam is collectively like the drunkest day of the year for both of us, probably.
Yeah.
But rightfully so. All right. Next up, we've got an email from John Metz. Hello, Bunt Gang, and go Jays. It's about damn time we see Canada win something badass that doesn't require a parka. Question: what's your take on zines? Did you guys have any OG low-budget zines you looked forward to back in the day? Just holding those black and white low-budget things was like a banker holding a Wall Street journal. I miss the feel of shitty paper sometimes. We had one in Boise years ago called the Algerian, and frankly, I miss it. I think the zine needs a comeback. Any thoughts? If we started another zine here, could we get you guys for an interview? Always doing it for the people. Respect, John and Boise. Without a doubt, we do an interview. We always, anytime we're asked, we do interviews, man. We're happy to do them. We expect a lot from all our guests to come on here and share all their stories, so we'd be willing to do the same. Just don't ask us how we started the podcast again. That's well documented.
Hey, no, we can't be doing that, because we ask skaters the same crap that they've been asked 100 times too.
I guess that's journalism.
Yeah. Speaking of zines, I don't know if this is going to be a zine, but quick little shout out to our homie from the Den, Jackson Toon, who is starting a mag called Clear Cut Mag. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Clearcutmag.com, and he's sending us a couple issues, Dono, so I'll get one over to you.
Epic.
But dude, love zines, of course. Love skate mags, any sort of skate fucking media, man. We're here for it. We're skate nerds over here, so I wish there was more zines popping. All these Go Jays fucking emails from last week are just kind of brutal now. All right, next up, we got an email from Andy Susteta. Can you explain the X up further on the post office? Oh, it's just when you bend down to pop and do a trick, you hit the momentum. So when you like jump up, and if you want to, the best example is what's his name? The dude that was originally brought up last week about the Olympic guy.
What is his name? Not Jackson. What the fuck's his name? Fuck. Let me search it up real quick. I'm not going to live with myself. We can't figure this out.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
Jagger Eaton.
Jagger Eaton, yeah. Watch any footage of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Xing up like crazy. It's definitely not wouldn't consider that good style. And it's kind of like easy to stop doing if you just think about it for a second, but he probably thinks it's steezy. Who knows?
Epic power up is what it looks like.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we've got an email from Jericho Rodriguez. What's up, Bunt Gang? It's your boy Jericho from Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Longtime listener, first time, you know the deal. So I just turned 30 a couple days ago, and I just want to hear your pre-skate rituals for longevity. Personally, I like some dynamic stretching before I even head out the crib, along with some electrolytes and caffeine. Love the show. Keep doing what you're doing. Shout out Ready Skate Shop and Civil Skate Shop. Peace. Pro, I actually have zero rituals, man. It's obviously not the right answer. I just warm up slow is what I do. I like take a real slow, long warm up. Don't expect much early on when I get there, you know. I'm talking like slappies, find the lowest mani pad, start with 180s, you know. It takes a while before I flip my board in a session. Usually like switch front shove is the beginning, fakie shove is the second trick. Then we do half cab, and we go from there down to slappy, and then it's funny because I can usually like switch 50-50 before I can regs 50-50. I just have more pop switch, so we'll start like that. It's just I just move real slow when I start the day. That's it for me.
Yeah, I don't really have a ritual either. Like, you know, I hold my try and do a little what is that stretch when you just grab your ankle and just lift it up to your ass. Do a couple of those. Maybe stretch my calf against the wall. Like, yeah, I don't really have anything for you. 50s. I skate pretty symmetrically when I'm warming up. Front 50, back 50. You know, front 5-0, back 5-0. Nose grind, back nose grind. But nothing interesting to report here. Sorry, brother. Try and stay hydrated. You know what I'm saying? Start
Dude,
the
this
day
would
with
be
a
a
lemon
question
water.
for our. This would be a question for our mutual friend Tommy Tershin, man. He's got the absolute ritual before he goes skating. He's having eggs for breakfast, water, probably mixing a couple hamburgers for the protein. Then you get to the skate park. He's doing his stretching, his lunges. He's got some band out. He's stretching his legs with. He's got it all, man. So maybe one morning I'll film a montage of his warm up and send that over or post it online. It's all the things that we don't do that he does.
Yeah, that sounds like a massive bunt, but I appreciate you just floating that out there for Jericho. All right, next up, fuck's sakes, an email from Eli. Widowski. World Series. What's up, D Jones and Ghost? Big fan of the show. Keep up the awesome work. Love listening to you guys whenever I'm driving. I know you guys are big NBA, NFL, NHL fans, but I was wondering if you guys follow MLB and if y'all were watching the World Series at all. I live on the East Coast, so I'm a Red Sox fan at heart, but my grandpa was from LA, so I grew up also rooting for the Dodgers. That World Series was absolutely unreal. The Blue Jays went in. I thought they had it in the bag for sure. Game 7 was easily one of the craziest games I've ever watched. Such a nail biter. Miguel Rojas with the clutch tie up. Bro, we know what fucking happened here.
Bro, why are we reading this?
So many crazy moments, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm skipping to the end. I wish y'all the best of luck next season. Huge respect to the Blue Jays. That was incredible. Blah, blah, blah. Super stoked to hear. Yeah. I don't know why we read this, but thank you. Just thank you for being an awesome listener. We'll talk about, do you not listen to the pod? We've been talking about baseball a little more this season, of course, with this playoff run. And we'll talk about the Jays in the rundown. All right, man. But appreciate you listening. And it still hurts over here even as a bandwagon Blue Jays fan. Like, I couldn't sleep that night. Real shit.
Okay, that was fucked. All right, y'all. That's going to wrap up the post office for this week. Get your emails, voice notes, videos, you name it, over to thebuntlive@gmail.com. We'll see y'all next week for episode 11. We're running out of time here in season 22, so get your questions in. Welcome back to the Rundown, brought to you by NFL Canada. This past weekend, started with a little bit of sorrows. Game 7 in baseball didn't go our way Saturday night, but we hopped on the NFL bus Sunday morning. We went straight down to Buffalo. Potentially what we thought could be game of the year, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. Wasn't as exciting as some of their duos in the past, but what can I say? The king of November reigns again. Josh Allen. The regular season wins keep coming over Patrick Mahomes, and he got it done, man. What do you have to say about your boy Mahomes?
5-1 when it doesn't matter. 0-4 when it matters. Let's go, baby. I'll hold on to that as long as I can. Thank you, NFL Canada. We got treated like absolute kings. You know what I'm saying? We had the party bus on the way there. Fucking buffet, fucking free drinks in a private tailgate. But me and Donald are real ones. We had to take a little trip across the street. We
went to O'Neill's.
We went to O'Neill's, an absolute staple if you've ever been to a Bills tailgate. But no, had a great time. Then the game, dude, me and Donald have only ever sat nosebleed, and we're like, all right, where's our section? Find it, 138. Start walking down. I'm looking at the road number. I'm like, down. Oh, quite a ways to go.
And down.
Yeah. And down, kept looking back at Donald. We were both laughing like, yo, next thing you know, we're in the 10th row, which is basically almost like, ground level with these fools. We did go field access at the Bengals, so that was the first time we saw how big these guys are up close, but that was a trip. Just the experience, the whole experience was insane. The game wasn't the best, and after the Jays losing, I needed the Chiefs to make me feel better. But massive thank you to NFL Canada. What an unforgettable Sunday. We out here.
Dude, and Bills Mafia just does it different, man. Like, that city lives and dies for the Buffalo Bills, man. And you can feel that energy around the stadium. You feel it in the stadium. Hard to compare just being at a Bills game to other teams. But shout out Josh Allen. Got the job done. Dalton Kincaid game. Safe was 1 year too early on the Dalton Kincaid trade, but he's breaking out this year. And the Bills, man, maybe one or two pieces away from winning the Super Bowl. I think they go out, they get Chris Olave, and then a piece on defense. Like, it's possible. They were shutting Mahomes down. Like, he had chances to win the game, and Bills defense came up big.
Look at this. Listen to this delusional Bills November fan, man. Like, Just wait, man.
Bro.
Just wait.
You know, this is the best month of the year to be a Bills fan in November. Let me tell you that. All right, back to business. I was hoping it wasn't going to come to this, but the survivor pool picks are in. And my goddamn Detroit Lions could not get the job done against the upstart JJ McCarthy and the Vikings, who look like a completely different team last night or yesterday. So it's now 2-2. Save has clawed his way back. 4 straight correct picks. And now I've missed on 2 in a row. So here we go. Headed into week 10. Who are you thinking?
Bro, can I just say major shout out to JJ McCarthy? I had a feeling he was gonna do that to you.
We're gonna get into JJ. We're gonna get into JJ.
Yeah, okay, but let's go Vikings.
Let that one
man.
live for a sec.
Fucking
Yeah,
Degros thought it was all good when he was up 2, but we're tied up.
I thought it was over.
Ooh. A lot of close looking games here. Oh, have I picked the Bills yet? Have I used my Bills card yet? Bro, let me get the Buffalo Bills guaranteed W against the trash ass
you hopped on the
Miami
bandwagon.
Dolphins. Yeah. Actually, dude, when I picked them last time, they ruined my parlay. Fuck's sakes.
Oh, there's a lot of tough games out there. Oh, man. Next Monday is a huge game. Eagles-Packers. Holy moly. Shit, there's not much of a giveaway anymore. All the other ones are close. Oh. Have I taken those guys yet? I'll take the Denver Broncos at home on Thursday night. Let's do it, baby. Versus the Raiders. The Raiders.
Let's go. Brock
anybody.
Bowers is back. You're in trouble, baby.
Nah, fuck Brock Bowers, man. He had that one good game. He's in trouble from here on out. There you go. Tied up 2-2. Only a couple weeks left. Come on. We got to lock in here, man. Okay. Did the real Daniel Jones show up in Pittsburgh this past weekend? Or was this just a 1-week blip and the Colts are who we thought they were?
Dude, it's crazy because the Pittsburgh Steelers defense has been getting absolutely roasted. That's all everyone was talking about in the media this week leading up to this game. You just thought like they're about to get absolutely destroyed by the cleanest offense in the game right now. But I've been slow to like accept this new Daniel Jones. And I don't know if now I'm going to just completely say he's back to being a pumpkin. But that looked like vintage New York Giants Daniel Jones. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt this week and say that he rights the ship next week in Berlin. Actually, the Falcons defense
The crazy thing
tough.
is that
Fuck.
The crazy thing is that in New York, he was always bad under pressure. And the big change is coming to Indianapolis, he was playing great under pressure. But what the Pittsburgh Steelers did was eliminate Jonathan Taylor from the game. And with no Jonathan Taylor, potentially the MVP, it's a very different team over there in Indianapolis. You got Daniel Jones throwing the ball to Alec Pierce, Downs, and Pittman. You need Jonathan Taylor to carry that offense. And when removed, I think the game ended 27-20, but it was not close. The game was not that close. It was pretty much over early. Shout out to Pittsburgh, you know. When the chips were down, everyone's hating on them. Overpaid defense. Aaron wasn't getting it done. Mike Tomlin always seems to find a way to just right the ship and carry on with their mediocrity so that they will never truly get a high pick as a quarterback. They will always live in the middle of round 1. And it's another win that the Steelers didn't need that they got, man.
I know. I remember when I was picking all their wins and losses for the rest of the season. I think I've already been wrong like every time because I thought they would beat Cincy, then I thought they would lose this one. But they just find ways. That was impressive, dude, because the Colts scored early. It was 7-0. Pittsburgh goes down, gets stopped. They go for it on 4th at like the 3-yard line or something. Got fucking stopped. And then they just like they had a couple drives that went nowhere, including getting stopped like on 4th down. And it just seemed like it was only a matter of time until the Colts just fucking kind of took the game, like took full control, but they never were able to get their offense really going. And Aaron Rodgers and them boys just slowly chipped away, and all of a sudden it was fucking game over, man. Let's go Steelers, baby. You get me. TJ Watt
Steelers
with
got the
strip
job
sack
done.
fumble.
Okay, from one quarterback to the next. The Prince who was promised week after week looks more like a joker than anything. What is Trevor Lawrence actually capable of? Because, yes, they got away with this win in Jacksonville, and they scored 30 points, but they won realistically because the Raiders, who are absolutely one of the worst teams in weeks past, got a donut up against the Chiefs, went for 2 points in overtime to tie it rather than just kicking it and having the overtime carry on. So they really just got lucky. Trevor Lawrence fell into the end zone for a 1-yard touchdown. And then, the Raiders, they're aggressive. They want the win. And Jacksonville barely gets away with it. But you never truly know what a player is like unless you draft them in fantasy and are forced to watch them. This year you have been forced to watch Trevor Lawrence in all his glory. What is the real issue?
It's just I think just a lack of focus and concentration and like just dumbass. So the thing with him is like he's very frustrating because he'll have a drive where he just looks like he's not a fucking franchise quarterback. He'll have like 2 of them in a row, maybe even 3. And then that next drive when you're about to just fucking give up on him and say he's the worst and you want to bench him, he'll just have a drive where he looks incredible and he makes epic like tight window throws all of a sudden. But then it's like every 4 plays, or every 10 plays, like he'll remind you why he was the number 1 pick, but there's just no consistency. And I think you want someone who is mediocre with flashes of brilliance, not someone who's horrible with flashes of brilliance. So it makes it really hard to rely on consistently. I think that's the main problem with them. It's just overthrowing guys wide open for no damn reason. Like even check downs are a problem for him sometimes. Like it's really frustrating to watch. But this is another win, like that one over the Chiefs, where you're just like, how the fuck? Like he almost fell over when he handed the ball off to Bashal for a touchdown at one time. Dude, he threw for 220. Dude, opening drive, they get down to like the 3-yard line, throws a pick right to the guy. Like the guy was like, what the hell? Like he threw it to him like he was his teammate. Like brutal pick to start the game. And then he didn't throw for a touchdown. He had 2 rushing touchdowns. Like they're so fucking all over the place. And with Travis Hunter out, it kind of sucks. But man, I'm pretty sure they're 5-3 now. 5-3 or 6-3.
They're doing their thing. But they're finding a way.
They find a way, man. It's fucking unorthodox, but it works.
Yeah, 5-3, second in the AFC South. I think he could potentially be someone like Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold, where on their second or third team, they could truly find themselves a little bit more. He's just been gifted this career, this job, this massive contract, and he hasn't really shown his true potential, I don't think, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens next. My next question, who are these Green Bay Packers? Whenever you think they've righted the ship and it's going to be clear sailing, they find a way to let you down. And losing to the Carolina Panthers is a new low that I didn't even expect possible from them.
Dude, that's a great question. I don't know who they are. Their 2 losses on the season are to Cleveland and fucking Carolina. It makes no sense whatsoever. And unfortunately, they just had a couple really bad injuries. Tucker Kraft tore his ACL, out for the season. Hate to see it, especially after a career week where he went home and fucking went crazy last week. And then Matthew Golden, I don't know how bad it is. He hurt his shoulder. But man, every time they make you think they're like a Super Bowl contender, they'll follow that up with a fucking complete dud. I don't know how the fuck you lose to Carolina, man.
This is the craziest thing, man. They lost to Carolina, and Bryce Young went 11 for 20 for 102 yards with no touchdowns and an interception. But the world is witnessing the greatness in which I saw last year of Rico Dowdle, the new clear number one in Carolina. All the rave was Chuba Hubbard in the offseason, but last year I knew on the Dallas Cowboys that Rico was the man. I held on to him and paid off later in the season, but whoever has him in fantasy this year, that is the diamond in the rough, probably a waiver wire pickup, and Rico Dowdle continuing to do his thing.
Well, the funny thing is, in our one league, Costin, who's the loosest fantasy player, probably second to Atiba Jefferson and Nicole House. Those three in any order are fucking loose as hell. All three of them are above us in the standings and in the playoff picture somehow, and we're not in there. But I remember hitting Costin to try and get a trade going because I had so many running backs at the start of the year. I was like, yo, you have no running backs. You have Jonathan Taylor and Bashal Tootin and like Rico Dowdle. But at the time, they weren't doing jack shit. And now it's like he has the most unstoppable team. It's fucking a horseshoe up that motherfucker's ass for days. Like Mason hit me yesterday fucking livid because he was playing Frost. And he's like, yo, Frost was so hungover. He like tried to like sub out Pop Douglas for JSN. He left JSN on his bench. But then Pop Douglas just has 2 touchdowns. Like... in the first half or something. It's like, even when he's fucking blowing it, he's still killing it. But I was going like this because, as Donald knows, I just traded. It's a 3 for 3, but I essentially just received Tucker Kraft this week in a trade and sent Rico Dowdle the other way. So you can only imagine how pissed off I am in that league. And that was with my main man, Phil, who I now refuse to talk to and will never speak to again.
Rightfully so. JJ McCarthy, was it a JJ McCarthy statement game win over the Lions, or was it a Vikings statement game win over the Lions? Who was more impressive? Was it about the quarterback, or was it about mostly the defense being able to shut down the Lions? Jameer Gibbs probably one of his worst games of his career.
Yo, that was nuts. I'm blanking right now. Help me remember. The defensive coordinator of the Vikings used to be the Dolphins coach who kind of got fired kind of disgracefully with all that Tua drama and shit. The fuck's his name? Who's the Minnesota Vikings defensive coordinator? Fucking
Brian Flores.
Piece of shit. Brian Flores. just said like Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. Yeah, Brian Flores put on a fucking master class right there. That's the second time this year I feel like we've seen the Detroit offense kind of not be able to really put their foot on the gas. Week 1 against the Packers was insane, and then this one was pretty crazy. And I think McCarthy didn't have to do too much. Like I remember he had 2 touchdowns early in the game, but they had great field position to start those drives, or like there'd be like a long Aaron Jones catch and run or something. But some encouraging signs there for McCarthy. I'm not gonna just be like, yo, he's ready, he's the man now. Got the Ravens next week. That'll be another tough test. Their defense is getting a little healthier, but I'd say I give that game ball to Brian Flores, man. Goff looked fucking under siege all day. Never really seemed comfortable.
No, he really didn't ever seem comfortable. And then getting out those 2 touchdowns to start, one to Hawkinson, one to Jefferson. Good to see JJ McCarthy throwing the ball. This Vikings team is way too good to be having to deal with that Carson Wentz bullshit. So it's nice that they have JJ back. Hopefully he can continue to flourish in what is the best division in football. It's competitive over there, man. Competitive. Let's talk about the Bengals for a sec, man. We got to see what's probably the highlight of their season, the win over the Steelers. Thankfully, we were in the building. But just another awful performance. Like, they can't make one stop. I think it's the only team in NFL history to have back-to-back 38-point games and lose them both. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. They just lost to the Jets and then turned around, put up over 40, and lost to the Bears. It took the Cincinnati Bengals coming to town for Colston Loveland to show signs of life. Your coveted rookie tight end. I don't even know if we should talk about the Bengals. Should we just talk about the Bears getting a win?
Yeah, I mean, you got to feel bad for every single player on that Bengals offense who they were dead in the water. I can't remember the score. It was like, what was it? 40. It was 40 something to like 27. I can't remember. It was something around that where it just seemed like it was over, or maybe that pick six got called back, but whatever. They had no business being in the game. They somehow miraculously take a 1-point lead with under a minute left. I think a Yoshivas touchdown. The crowd's going crazy, but it was like the game we were at. There was a little bit too much time on the clock to get real comfortable. And the craziest thing was I watched the highlights this morning. Like Caleb Williams, he's scrambling all over the place. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd and 10. This motherfucker's scrambling, running crazy backwards. You're like, oh, it's over. He's done. And then he scrambles out of that, gets a first down. And I didn't know how the game ended because we were in Buffalo turning up and shit. And I just figured they were going to kick a field goal. And then all of a sudden, this dude whips one to Colston Loveland. I don't know if the defenders ran into each other or something, but this dude just broke off for like a 58-yard touchdown to end the game. They had a couple shots at it with Flacco with 17 seconds, but yeah, I feel terrible for the Jamar Chases, T. Higgins, all those boys, Flacco, and just hope is dwindling every week now.
The sad thing is, man, you got Joe Flacco coming in here to right the ship, and he's doing literally everything he can in his power. He had 470 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Bears and went home with a loss. It's just awful over there in Cincinnati, man. I know that organization isn't known for spending money, but if they have an offense that moves the way they do and they can't put some money into this defense in the next offseason, you may as well turn around and trade Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, trade the whole lot and just start over, because you are just wasting some of the best offensive players in the game today. You've already put Joe Burrow through absolute hell, injury after injury. It might be time to shut it down there in Cincinnati and cut him free if you're not willing to do what you should do and bulk up that defense.
Real shit, man. Sad times in Cincy.
Mm-hmm. Moving over to the World Series and wrapping up the show, I don't think we're going to go through and talk about all the what ifs and what could have happened. There's scenarios in the 7th, 8th, 9th, and then the 10th inning. There's calls losing the 18-inning game. One of the greatest back and forth 7-game series I've ever witnessed in my lifetime. Obviously, we came out on the wrong side of it. Going up against a lot of our homies down there in LA that we're close with, chatting to, throughout the series. It was a hell of a week and a half, whatever it was. It was so fun to be locked into the World Series. Toronto versus LA. Obviously, wish we came out on top. The Blue Jays overachieved all season, man. And, just wanted to congratulate them. A hell of a team, a true team. But when it came down to it, it was the Dodgers pitching that stole the show. Yamamoto wins World Series MVP, and boy, did he deserve it. 3 wins for a pitcher in a 7-game series. Absolutely insane. Throws almost 100 pitches Friday night, comes back and eats up another 3-4 innings in Game 7. Yamamoto, man, unreal performance, and And congrats to the Dodgers fans and everyone in LA. That was a really hard loss to take. The Blue Jays should have had that win, man.
Yeah, fuck, dude. So I forget, my buddy Mark sent me a meme, and it was like something about, it was directed at me being a bandwagon fan, but it was, boy, was it ever a fun wagon to be on for a bit there. And I think I'll be locking into the Blue Jays playoffs going forward. I don't know. I have a problem with watching games that are inconsequential. Dude, I can't be watching 160 games. You know, like even the NBA, like it's hard for me to care, especially with how much the players don't seem to care anymore, and baseball double up that regular season. But fuck, where's this meme? It was pretty funny. It was just like, been a Jays fan since October 2025. I can't believe this day will finally happen. And it's just like, that's me in a nutshell. But no, it was great. I don't know much about baseball, but I was locked in. Congrats to the Jays. Heartbroken for the diehard fans. You know, I'll be able to shake it off quicker than the diehards. The one thing I'll say is our manager, I don't know anything, but I just felt like he outsmarted himself in 3 of those losses. Like the 18th one, pinching everyone out, which I was like, yo, remember that, because when he fucking pinched out Bichette in Game 7, I'm like, yo, if this fucking goes long, like, we're gonna need that motherfucker.
He'll never hit again. You got
Yamamoto.
I think he was 3 for 4.
Yeah, so that came back to bite us again. He did something else in Game 6 that kind of pissed me off too. But again, I'm not acting like I know anything, but I just felt like it's almost like he got that pinch hit fucking grand slam, and he's like, I'm a genius, and then he kept fucking doing like over managing. I thought, I don't know.
That was his MO all year. That's what he would do. That wasn't something new that he just started doing in the World Series. He had guys coming in and out of the lineup in games, out of games. That's his MO. That's how he likes to play, and he didn't want to switch it up in the World Series. But that was the main thing, man. George Springer obviously beaten and battered off that little abdominal injury or whatever it was, and then the Bo Bichette knee injury. Didn't want to leave him on the bases to run, but you need that bat in the lineup. Probably our best bat in Game 6 and 7. But shout out the Blue Jays, man. Playoffs in sports, there's nothing that brings people together more than a long playoff run in a city, man, and that was a good time.
Yeah, happy birthday to our boy Joel Scullard. That was Game 7, was his birthday, his actual birthday. And I'm sorry it ended that way. He was so ready for that to be the most epic 35th birthday of all time. And the devastation was real. But we'll run it back. You get me.
All right, y'all. That's going to wrap up this week's episode of The Bunt. Y'all know where to find us next week.